Hello guys, so in my part 1 video I was talking about the origins of prophecy in Israel, and when I finished the part 1 I was talking about the two major theories concerning the origins of prophecy in Israel, and I was saying that there are two major theories: prophecy as a unique feature in Israel and prophecy as a borrowed phenomenon in Israel. So in this part 2 video I'm going to look at prophecy as a borrowed phenomenon in Israel. Some scholars are of the view that prophecy was borrowed in Israel. It was not a unique feature. So want to see at the features which were borrowed by Israel's prophets. So the origins of prophecy in Israel remains a debatable issue. According to B.W. Anderson, the origins of prophecy in Israel is still shrouded in obscurity. That means it's still difficult to understand how prophecy originated in Israel. According to the borrowed phenomenon theories, prophecy was not unique to Israel, but it originated somewhere else outside Israel, like the ancient Near East. Hence, prophecy was new to Israel. Some evidence come from Mari texts from Mesopotamia, an extra-biblical source. There's also a text from Asia called Agarish, and the Telemania from Egypt, which supports the idea that Israel borrowed prophecy. Then some might wonder, what is Mesopotamia? Mesopotamia is a region in Southwest Asia spanning from the rivers Euphrates and Tigris. That is the site of one of the most ancient civilizations in the history of man. And Asia is a continent located east of Europe, west of Pacific Ocean, north of Oceania, and south of Arctic Ocean. Scholars concluded that Israel borrowed its prophecy from the ancient Near East. Some of the arguments are based on three prophecies, that is the legend of Wen Ammon, the legend of Zimrilim, and the legend of the Stele of Zake. These are the main three prophecies, or the main three stories, or the main three legends on the borrowed phenomenon. So we are going to look at these three legends or these three stories. Basically, there are two sources available concerning the origins of Israelite prophecy, namely extra-biblical material and biblical sources. So we have two sources available concerning the origins of prophecy in Israel: the extra-biblical material, which is not found in the Bible, and then we have the biblical source, which is found in the Bible. So what are the extra-biblical sources? The extra-biblical material, these are archaeological materials found at various centers of the ancient Near East. They are threefold problem. So these extra-biblical are just archaeological materials which were found at centers of the ancient Near East nations, and the threefold problems. And now we are going to look at the three problems. The materials are not easily accessible. Number two, the materials are vague in the way they present Israelite prophecy. Vague just means they do not clearly express. Number three, third problem is they lack uniformity in the manner they present in the ancient Near East. So those are the threefold problems we can find in those extra biblical sources. Now let's look at the biblical sources. According to 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9, a prophet was a former seer. According to 2 Samuel chapter 24 verse 11, when David rose in the morning, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Gad, David's seer. So you see in this verse, a seer is considered a prophet. A prophet is considered a seer. It seems that the words prophet and seer are being used interchangeably. In ancient Israel, a seer was a person who had the gift of foresight and could foretell the future. And in Hebrew, the word seer is rohi, meaning an extraordinary person who could predict the future. The Hebrew word nabi, which is translated as prophet, means a person with a special divine gift of foretelling. So it seems that the roi or seer and the Nabi or prophet had different functions in Israel, therefore different in nature. One person could act as both a seer and a prophet. And now we want to look at the three legends, or those three stories are found in extra biblical sources, which I mentioned before: the legend of Wen Ammon, and the legend of Stelo Zake, and the legend of Zimri. So let's start with the story of the legend of Wen Ammon. So, the legend of Wen Ammon, the story is recorded in the ancient Near East texts. It says that when Ammon was a messenger of the Egyptian god Ammon-Re, he was sent to the king of Babylon in Phoenicia to buy timber with which to construct a temple for the god Ammon-Re. The king of Babylon delayed in attending to the young man's request because he was offering sacrifices to his god. And then a young man fell into ecstasy and ordered the king to offer timber to an Ammon. The young man is said to have spent the whole night in ecstasy, speaking on behalf of the gods. So that's basically the story about Wen Ammon. It is a story whereby Wen Ammon was a messenger from the Egyptian god Ammon-Re, who sent him to the king of Babylon to buy timber which he could build a temple for his god Ammon-Re. So let's look at the analysis of this legend. First, we have the deities or god. In this story, the youth spoke on behalf of the gods. He represented the will of the gods. He was a messenger of the gods. The same applies to Israelite prophets. They were messengers of Yahweh and communicated his will to the people. That's the first analysis, the gods or the deities, where we see that in this story there's a correspondence between the messenger and gods, and same applies in Israelite prophets, where they were in correspondence with Yahweh. Now let's look at the second analysis, which is ecstasy. Ecstasy was also evident in Israelite prophets according to 1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 5 to 6. There were prophets in Israel who got into ecstasy. So in this story we can find that a young man fell into ecstasy and ordered the king to give Wen Ammon timber so that he could build a temple for his king. And it is also evident in Israelite prophets that they could also get into ecstasy, as evidence in 1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 5 to 6. Go and read that verse, guys. And we have third analysis, which is forthtelling. Israelite prophets were by and large concerned with forthtelling. They dealt with current issues. And we also have our fourth analysis, which is prophetic authority. The king obliged to do service. Israelite prophets also had such authority. That basically the story of Wen Ammon, or the legend of Wen Ammon. Now we have the legend of Zimri, or the story of Zimri. Let's look at what happened in this story. The legend of Zimri is based on the tablets Exas vetted at Mari, one of the tablets. A seer is said to have delivered a message to the king Zimri. So the message said, "I am Hadad, your God, who will make you king over Mesopotamia. If you obey, I will bless you. If you disobey, I will punish you." So let's look at the analysis of this story, or the analysis of this legend. The oracle resembles Israelite oracles. It starts by self-identification of the god, then follows the message. Blessing played a pivotal role in Israel. Ecstasy seems to have been a hallmark of Israelite prophets. Yeah, so that's the legend of Zimri. Now we have the legend of Stele of Zake, or the story of Stele of Zake. Zake is said to have prayed to his god, who assured him of victory through seers and visionaries. it seems that seers were active in the ancient Near East. Now let's overly evaluate these three stories. It seems that prophecy in Israel was not unique. There were many similarities between prophecy in the ancient Near East and prophecy in Israel. There were seers who would get into ecstasy and utter the messages of the gods using the messenger formula. I will talk about the messenger formula maybe in my part 6 video, whereby prophets in Israel used the messenger formula after declaring their oracles. The messenger formula was simply saying, "Thus says the Lord." If he said an oracle, he would say, "Thus says the Lord." The ancient Near East writings are older than Israelites. Therefore, some scholars say Israelites copied prophets from ancient Near East. Then we have some critics who criticize this theory, this borrowed phenomenon theory. They are of the view that this theory is based on the assumption of ecstasy, that it is based on the assumption that ecstasy was one of the defining characteristics of prophets in Israel, which might not have been the case. And Jeremiah called those who prophesied in ecstasy false prophets. The ancient Near East prophets might have borrowed prophets in Israel, and Israelite prophets were often conscious when giving oracles. So that was basically the borrowed phenomenon, a theory which suggests that Israel copied its religious style from ancient Near East nations. So in my part 3 video, I will be talking about the second theory, which suggests that Israel had their own unique feature, had their own unique religion. She did not copy from the ancient Near East. But before I cut this video, I just want to give you a brief insight in the prophecy as a unique feature in Israel. There is what we call the traditional theory. This theory suggests that prophecy in Israel was called covenantal. Prophets were mediators between the covenant and people. Their main message was the covenant of Yahweh, which the people had agreed to keep. So prophets were interpreters of the covenant and communicators of the divine will. A second feature of prophecy as a unique in Israel is that prophecy originated with the Exodus experience. Prophets arose in order to interpret the Sinai covenant, which was given to people through Moses. They also encouraged the people to uphold it. This theory considers Moses as the first prophet. In my third part I will be discussing about prophecy as a unique feature in Israel, where I will be also talking about the evolutionary theory, the Decalogue, Yahwehism, and monotheism. So you must watch the third part, guys. So basically, this was it. This was my second part, where I was discussing prophecy as a broad phenomenon in Israel. Now that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. And please remember to subscribe. Please remember to click the notification bell and just like the videos. Share, guys. Share to your friends. Share to everyone whom you think the video must be important. Thank you.